Alrighty. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the third episode of the Unnecessary Commentary K-pop segment, the K-Corner. Yes! With your hosts, me, Anaya, Ari, Alyssa, Kaya, Leah,
hey,
and Paris. Woo! Yes. All right. Well, how's everybody's week been so far?
Hot mess.
Same.
Yeah,
Yes,
hot mess.
that literally describes my whole week.
A wonderful fire.
Yep. I hope all the listeners have had a good week so far. Because it's been tough. But
it's been rough.
If not, just know the rest of us are feeling the same thing.
You're not alone. We all
boat.
going through it together.
Yeah.
Yes. So now that everybody's doing great, well, kinda. Well, not really, actually.
No.
If you did have a rough week, this is why we're here. We're gonna help try and make it up.
Right.
We'll just leave it at that.
We'll do what we can.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So without further ado, let's just get right into it then. All right. So today we're gonna try to do, because the last episode we talked about like 2 recent comebacks, and then we talked about a random video, and then we went to like the tea. We're gonna try to. It went like really long, so we're gonna try to like keep it together and maybe try doing talking about one recent comeback, and then the crazy random video, and then the tea. So today, the recent comeback we're going to talk about today is Girls on Top. Or Got the Beat. I don't know which name is it, but I think it's Got the Beat or something like that. Step Back, the new SM girl group, super girl group, like girl version of Super M thing. Yeah. If those who don't know, the Girls on Top group consists of Boa, Girls' Generations, Taeyeon and Hyoyeon, Red Velvet Seulgi and Wendy, and aespa's Karina and Winter. Okay.
That's why.
Yeah. Next level.
Because I saw that in the video and I was like, I gotta look this up. That dance move looks oddly familiar. And then I was like, oh, it's him. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
So, yes. So what y'all think?
I liked it. It was good.
I really liked it.
I thought it was very I liked the vibe and everything. It was very catchy.
Me too. I like that it was a performance video, because I really like to look at choreo. So I really enjoyed the choreo. I actually really want to learn it. I actually really want to understand.
Same.
I was like, oh wait, this is kind of neat. I kind of want to learn this.
See, and I'm so glad you said something, because for some reason I didn't notice it was a performance video until like the very end. So for the whole entire thing, I was like, they're just gonna keep them in like this one area.
That's dancing? What I was thinking too.
And I was like, and I literally went back to like Super M's video, and I was like, they had locations. Okay,
they went all the way to Dubai.
They went to Dubai.
They're not gonna do this for the girls. And then like I exited out of the video, and then it's like, oh, performance, and I was like, oh,
that's what I was. I mean, I was kind of like, only a performance video, because like y'all went all out for Super M. Y'all went to Dubai. We got all this CGI, all this there's everything, a lot going on in the video, and then we just, the girls come out and just like performance video.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it because I like choreo, and I really like the choreo, and because usually with groups I usually look at the performance video because I really like to look at the choreo, but I would have liked also a video,
I was
music
like,
video though,
because I was like, after I saw that, I was like, why couldn't we come out with 2 videos?
I was thinking maybe they'll come out with an actual video later, but who knows with SM.
But hasn't it been like 2 weeks now?
That's what I'm saying.
This video came out.
SM, their promotion for these girls is horrendous.
It really was. Like, we didn't know the lineup. Like, barely anyone knew what was happening. It was coming out.
The name kind of changed too.
For I guess it's COVID and everything, but I don't know. Like with Super M, like he went all out. Like everybody knew about Super M.
They did. They debuted in LA. I mean, I know the time is different, but
yeah,
they just went completely out. And I feel like you could have did something. I feel like, y'all could have did a good, like, cool video for the girl super group for you guys. Like, come on.
Yeah, but even for, like, I've seen in, like, other performance videos from SM Town, like EXO's, I think it was like Monster performance video. They had costume changes. They had different locations and everything like that. The lighting was crazy. The makeup changed up, and I felt like, okay, that was their performance video, and they're not even trying to be like a super group of girls either.
That's why I felt like it was kind of lazy. Like they just was like, you know where, I'm gonna put you in this room and you're gonna dance, and
look all cute like you're supposed to, and that's that.
and then they're barely going to be on the music shows. Like, you think they're finally gonna perform on Music Bank or one of the music shows? Barely.
What is this? Finally, I couldn't get away from Super M for 3 years.
They were on Ellen. They were
really
everywhere.
though. If you go to LA, there's like a SM, I think, bought a street or something. They bought something in LA. There's a building like that you pass by, and it's like literally this huge poster.
Yeah, it's in
Super
Koreatown.
We
were literally we were driving by and we just turned and we were like,
I'm like, SM bought a building, and I'm like, where I'm like, where is it? So I put it in the, like, in the Google Maps, and we drove to it, and I was like, wait, where is it? We was like, where is it? And then we turned to, like, the left, and it's like this huge picture of Super M on a building. I was like,
they got a whole building.
Yeah, they bought a building, because I think that was supposed to be their, like, another. No, it was like, I think it was supposed to be their, like, headquarters, I guess, in LA though, in America. So I think they were gonna make another,
when did that
like,
start happening?
thing. I don't know. But I mean, it didn't look like they did anything. I think they just put a big old Super M poster just to, like, identify that this is
sounding like the SM efficiency I've come used to nowadays. We just do one thing.
If they do that, it's in the wrong place, because
it's like
the area. This building, and it's a very ghetto area.
Yeah, I was like, this is where it is. I was like, I don't know if y'all want to.
I know y'all got some money. You have too many folks up in there starving and dancing for you to just buy something in the ghettos of LA.
Like, for real, like, around the corner, we almost got like attacked by this, like, bomb and everything. I'm just like,
what?
I'm like, y'all, I don't think this is where y'all want to be, but but I really liked my girl Sluggy. I love her. Anyways, she killed it. Okay. And
their outfits were really cute too.
Yeah, I really like the outfits. The outfits were very cute. I like Taeyeon's high note that she did at the end. It was cute. What was at the end? It was somewhere in there. I liked her high note, which was funny because I'm like, I wonder if the girl group is gonna have that one that's gonna do the high notes, like in Super M. Every song, Baekhyun did the high note at some point in the song. It's funny how ironically, Taeyeon was the one that did the high note. Just like,
wait, do they have an album, or is it just that one song?
It's like her ex. Okay, but yeah. cough. But yeah. But it was really good. And then what'd you say, Elsa?
Is there going to be an album, or is it just that one song?
I really don't know.
See, they haven't
said anything.
Really said anything. They're just, here's a video, and hopefully y'all don't ask any questions after that, because we haven't done any more work into this.
For real. I haven't heard anything after that. Like, it came out, and I was like, oh yeah, they did that one Supergirl group debuted, and then I didn't hear anything after that. And then they're like, they're barely going to be on music shows to promote their song, barely, like, weeks after.
That's so weird, where it's like they have to do stuff to promote, whereas other stuff that they have is just kind of, you're gonna know because it's going to be everywhere. So I'm
Mhm.
confused on why these girls are gotta work so hard to promote a song that everyone should basically know.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't even know about them except literally until Anaya said something. Until she sent out the the videos for this podcast. I didn't know.
Yeah, I was just
Which is weird
And
because I feel like with Super M, like there were so many ads like that were just just before YouTube videos, things like that. Like even if you weren't watching K-pop something, you had to see them. Whereas this
Yeah.
one,
it's
I had
crazy. Like
no
we
idea.
didn't know anything about it. Like even before Super M even like was officially a thing.
yeah,
It was like everybody knew something. Like SM
Yeah.
was
Something
cooking
was
up
I
going on.
something.
remember there was like a whole article and it was literally just SM Town is thinking about doing this with these
Yeah.
members. And I was like,
Yeah,
so
because
you
like
guys
a
know
video got
nothing.
leaked that where some of the members were like walking out together,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, like they're
Were
walking
they,
out
like-
together. They're gonna do something."
Yeah.
And then
And then
Super
it turned
M.
out that they are doing something, and then they announced that, oh, we're coming out with, Adventures of K-pop, a boy super group. And then it just you kept hearing stuff about it until
There was
the actual
more
debut
news
date.
about them than like any dating scandal or anything I've
Yeah.
ever
For
heard.
real,
Like
they
they
were
were everywhere.
I got an ad for like their music video was the ad.
Yeah, they started doing that like on ads for YouTube. It was like the actual like music video as the ad.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Yeah, I don't know.
But I did like it.
It was good though. I'm just saying
Yeah,
all this
I did
because of how good it was. They obviously deserve more, but
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get it.
Yeah, hopefully
Okay.
we will maybe get a music video with it. And we'll see more about them. Because I figured that they were gonna come out with a girl group, super group or whatever, but it's like the way they're doing
And
it is just annoying.
it was one of those things while watching the video, it felt like all the girls had like pretty decent chemistry with each other. Like if everything just flowed.
Yeah.
Whereas there was a couple times with with Super M, where it was just like, oh, like
yeah.
y'all are all beautiful, but like some of y'all feel out of place. Like it's kind of jerky every once in a while. But this one, I was like, they literally just looked like a regular girl group. Very natural. So that's why we'll hopefully get some more stuff out of them.
Hey SM, get it together. Okay, get it together over there.
People in America are starting to notice y'all slacking. So that should say something.
So y'all need to get together. SM, we talking to you, sir. All right, so next, okay, we'll move on to our craziest random video that is worth talking about.
One of my absolute favorites. I just had to bring it up. Paris, you can start us off.
Yes.
I was so my flabbers were gasted, okay?
Yeah. My flabbers were gasted. Oh my goodness, I never heard that.
I mean, it was just so random. Like the song was great. Don't get me wrong, the song was amazing. 10 out of 10. Highly
Let's say what we're talking about.
Before you finish, I'm sorry to cut you off, but let's let them know what we were talking about first. So the craziest random video we're gonna talk about is SHINEE's Married to the Music. Okay.
And if you are listening to this and you haven't seen it yet, go and do it. Because I'm telling you, it's probably going to take you an hour to get through the video mentally.
I watched it twice to see to process. I'm like, okay, wait, there's a lot going on. And I'm like, what just happened? So I had to watch it again.
Like what was
I still don't get it.
I think it was cool. I think it was really cool, but it was also like, huh?
Yeah. What was you about to say, Paris? Go ahead.
I was about to say that the song itself is amazing. It was really good.
Yes, it's really good.
However,
I do love music.
However, they started playing Spin the Bottle, and then it landed on somebody, I forget his name. But then he had to go on the dartboard and he got his head chopped off.
Yeah.
And then they started kicking it around the room.
I know, that was what I got me. I was like, did she just kick his head?
I have so many questions. Okay, which sadly you haven't.
I have answers.
Oh my god!
The only problem is again, if you guys watch the video, it's one of those things. I feel like the Big Bang one we did last year was kind of just like a fever dream, whereas this one you are straight up on bath salts. So the explanation, and unlike Big Bangs, which was like 2 paragraphs, this one is literally like 2 pages long. It goes scene by scene and breaks
There's
down.
a breakdown
It's
like
so
that.
intricate.
You know what?
And I was like,
that makes
what?
sense.
Why?
Because every scene
It
I had a
is.
question about. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
why did they
And
walk
it's-
in holding Jonghyun like or
Yeah.
carrying like he's like a bag or something? Like it was weird. And I'm like, okay, the next
Yeah.
thing, what are these glowing drinks?
It's
What is
the
that?
way that like the website I found explained it was so intricate. It was one of those things where I'm kind of just like, you know,
Yeah.
this is beautiful, but at the same time, is this SHINEE? Like I kind of know
Yeah.
these guys. Are they this genius? Are they this
It's
beautifully
genius?
put
So do they
together?
it's genius?
It's like every single detail within, like from the outfits, from like just antics that are
Wow.
happening, from who's looking at who. It's like, okay, this is the
So-
reason behind it.
So they do
What?
so it does explain why they was like all of a sudden missing body parts.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Okay.
Yes, that's one of
Okay.
it's like one of the major things, and it's like one of the things, like the reasons behind all the things that were happening. It's kind of like, I don't know, very inspiring, like very inspirational, and like, oh, okay. But at the same time, it's so inspiring that I'm like a little skeptical, because it's like, are this the same SHINEE that I know?
Yeah. I don't know.
But again,
I think you
I'll
should just
say
explain
that
it.
to the end, so you guys
Yes, I have
can-
questions. Okay, so like, yeah. So do they explain? Okay. So, okay, I'll just ask my questions. Maybe you just answer them as I go. You know, maybe because I have just so many questions, scene by scene. I'm like, okay, why is this? Why did that happen? Okay. Okay, so
Go for it.
why? Does it explain why they was carrying Jonghyun into the place like that, or
Yes, why
Okay,
he was
Maybe
like
you should just
laid
read it
side-
and then
like,
we'll ask additional questions.
Yeah.
okay.
Read
Okay.
pages.
that's what I'm saying.
Or
like,
try to
just
summarize it.
I will.
That's too hard. Summarize
To
2
be
pages
honest,
on the
there's
spot.
no real way to summarize it, but I could pick and choose like important paragraphs type
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
works.
So it won't be as bad. And then there's certain paragraphs I'll just summarize real quick. But I feel like this is the best part. So the beginning of it, I'm gonna need y'all to think about the biblical
Oh gosh.
example
Never mind. Next.
Never mind.
Wait,
of
what?
Jacob, Leah, and Rachel
Okay.
and their marriage.
Oh,
Okay.
whoa.
What?
Wait.
You
How
didn't
is
tell
that
us we were
related?
going down the Bible. route.
Wait a minute.
For like 2 seconds, but then
Okay.
it'll come back to SHINEE, but like 2 seconds.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So it's one of those things of Jacob was going into the marriage for a
Mhm.
specific person type
Right.
thing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
got blindsided, stuff got switched around, stuff didn't get revealed, and he ended up married to someone else. And
Mhm.
while he still
Mhm.
loved that person, he still had like love for the original person type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Quickest summary I could do. So basically, in Married to the Music, the two is married to the music and then being married to their fans. So that's like the conflict
Oh.
throughout the whole entire music
Wait, so
video.
the SHINEE is married to the music and married to their fans. That's the message. Not the
Yes.
message, but like the point.
Yeah, and it's
Oh.
like the whole thing is like the pull they feel from each side. Because they
Hmm.
originally, because so basically their thing is like the whole song is I'm married to the music. That's what they're trying to tell everyone. That's the reason they got into this. Like that's the reason that they were able to become famous and everything was for the music.
Mhm.
But because they became famous, it's one of those things, once their fans came into the picture, you have to start catering to them in order to still continue to make music.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
when
I
you
knew it
start
was something along those lines.
Oh, that's deep.
Because when they
It
started
is.
their
It is.
mouth and stuff, I was like,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright, I'm
so
still
it's
confused
basically the pool that they're having between that. And then it's one of those things, when you talk about fans, you have to add in the category of fans who are unstable, who are very possessive, who are very, very controlling. And even though they're like
Oh.
that, and
Was Was that what the like weird lady with the veil symbolized?
Yes, she's the
And that's why
bride.
she was cutting up the pictures of SHINEE.
Okay, that makes
Oh,
sense.
that makes sense. 'Cause I
That
was
was
like,
one of
what
my
is
Isn't
going
it
on?
starting to make
questions.
sense?
Yeah.
That was one of my
That's when I was
questions.
like, okay, she has to be a fan, and like she's just crazy.
I thought she was just one of those like bridezillas.
Oh.
That she's just an insane person that's just part of the music video. I didn't think she symbolized anything.
I
Yeah,
figured
so
she had
she's
something.
basically the bride in the whole entire thing, which leads us into the first paragraph where it's one of those things of she doesn't ever get like fully seen.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
noticed
basically by the clothing is how you know her. So that's
Know her,
they're
yeah.
representing all their different types of fans, like not specifically
Got
a
you.
certain fan. It's like everyone
Oh,
could in a
okay.
way be her if they choose to not be able to draw the line between fantasy and reality, especially when it comes to the members and the group.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh,
deep.
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Yes.
right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's I know. I was like, as I kept reading, it just becomes so much fun type thing. So in the very, very first second of the music video
Oh goodness.
is a roadblock that says marriage is a slow death.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Type thing, and that's what they crash through and everything like that. And it starts off
yeah.
kind of black and white, and then it like
Mhm.
transforms into color after they go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that is basically mirroring the relationship that fans and like them have of it's basically like a marriage, but because a lot of the fans have so much pull and stuff like that, it's like you have to give up yourself. So basically the way the lady explained it is like in a marriage, it's like you give up part of yourself and the other person gives up part of their self, and it's like a balance. But it's one of those things where the group, it's like you have to give up this much stuff, whereas the fans don't really have to give up anything.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it creates like an imbalance type thing, which creates like an unstable relationship. So the whole music video is just basically every different example of how unstable this marriage is, how unnormal this marriage is, why it's a crazy marriage, because all these crazy things are happening the way that other marriages wouldn't have it. So like the first way you see that is when they're in the car, and basically it's not when they're in the car, when they're going through into the house and they have to carry him into the house, sort of like how you would carry a bride. But the bride is already in the house type thing. She's already controlling everything about the music video, and they're entering into it. So it's kind of like how they debuted and they just kind of got ushered into being instant like celebrities and everything like that. And just the transition from like a normal life to something wild, which is why at first they like looked really confused when they walked in. And then after that, they just kind of like started partying. So it's like, even though you're getting ushered into this life, it's like everyone's like, you just have to adapt to it. It may look crazy, it's unstable, it's not normal, but you keep performing, you keep going, you're normal. Everything's fine here. So that's
wow.
Yeah, that's like shockingly, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Surprisingly deep.
Yeah, so when they first come in, when it's that she starts giving the drinks. Everybody remember the glowing drinks? So basically that's how it's showing that she's going to have an influence on them, because they drink it, and again Taemin starts glowing, everyone starts acting crazy. So it's one of those things of when you first get ushered into the music world, once your fans start saying their opinion, that's instantly what you have to like take in and start doing.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I thought he was a ghost or something. I was like, what's going on?
I did too. I was like, what is happening?
That's what it's representing. So then another way that they show that the bride is also like in control is because she's wearing more black than like white and everything like that. So it's basically their way of being like, she's basically free in this marriage. She could do what she wants. She could do anything, whereas those who are in the music industry, like they can't have relationships, they can't date, they can't do whatever they want, whereas a fan is completely free.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways they do it. So then it's one of those things of once they started accepting her influence is when they started losing pieces of themselves.
Oh, is that why they
Wow.
started losing limbs and stuff? 'Cause
Yes.
I was concerned,
Can you repeat
especially
that again? I'm
when
sorry.
his eyes.
So basically, once they started accepting the influence that she was having on them, like after they drank the drink and started glowing and everything,
Mhm.
is when they started losing pieces of themselves to the fans
Yeah.
rather than the music.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that is really
So that
interesting.
explains the head chopping. Okay.
So
And the eyes.
so it's one of those
Oh.
things of basically the way that they lost limbs. If every certain way a member lost something was done in like a childish type way.
Right.
So
yeah.
it's one of those things of so firstly is where like Onu like hits Taemin in like the back of the head with the eyes popping
Eyes
out.
pop out. Yeah.
So that one is they were explaining how when they first got into fame, they would hurt each other because of the stress that they were under as like a group and everything like that. Where it's they weren't doing it intentionally. It was just the pressure that they had getting into the business, trying to deal with the fans and everything like that, that they could even hurt each other. And then after that, it's more like kid stuff. So it's like the piñata happens and they lose something, or it's like a birthday cake, or it's like a carnival show and like he loses a head and stuff like that, or they're playing spin the bottle. So basically they did it that way is to explain how immature a lot like certain fans can be, like their nature type thing and like their opinions and how they deal with being a fan to the group. They'll be very immature, they won't be understanding, they'll just be like a kid.
Well,
And they'll hurt the group by acting like kids.
Yeah.
This weird, it's funny. It kind of really ties into this tea that we're gonna talk about.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's we
Real
like
quick.
even though it's an old video, it's still very relevant
Very
to
relevant.
the K-pop world.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so it's if you notice every time that they lose a part of themselves, it's like to them they're like freaking out or like there's something wrong, but she's always there to collect the pieces because that's what she really wants. She wants a part of them rather than what they're already trying to give her.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
Right? It's
That's
like
deep.
Crazy.
It's deep.
I'm seeing this video in a whole new light. Like,
Yeah.
at first I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay, it's a good song, but like with a weird video, of course, you know, and but now seeing what it's everything similar,
yeah, just
like whoa.
realizing how intricate and everything is, and then it's one of those things that it makes sense once you explain it.
Yeah.
Which later I'm gonna bring up that y'all should start explaining these things more.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I literally said
I
was
feel
gonna
like
say
I
that.
would have respected this video a long time ago if I had read
I don't know why people don't explain things if like their videos have a deeper meaning.
Yeah.
They just
let us
do
know.
things. That's why again I like a tease, okay? Because they be explaining their video. Okay, they're the only
break
group
it
I know
down
for
who
you.
says things.
Wasn't Big Bang's video on along the same lines?
No.
Kind of.
Yeah, it was similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not this intricate and deep, but
No.
it is very, very similar type thing.
It's funny because I don't know if it's the way they did it. Because this, even though they're both videos are weird, I just SHINEE's made more sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things again. I'm still a little skeptical because I was like, is SHINEE this deep? Like, have I been taking these guys for granted all this time?
Honestly, if you look
Bangs,
into like a lot of stuff that they've been through, it makes sense.
I will agree with that though. Whereas Big Bangs, I feel like y'all just put together a video and then came up with the explanation after.
Bro, yeah.
I feel like that one was very last minute, where this one was more planned and everything like that.
Because it's the small details.
The
very small details that are like that makes a lot of sense. And it also it just makes me feel so bad because I'm like, bruh, I love being a K-pop fan, but I also hate being a K-pop fan.
You know what? Today made me hate being a K-pop fan. I saw some
Yeah.
things today.
Or it's not just being a fan, but having to be a part of the community.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, there again, same as any community. There's certain streets where it's like, don't go down that street. You're
Yeah.
gonna get shanked. It's just ghetto.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that bum trying to take something from you.
Yeah,
It's just a lot to deal with.
It's getting
Yeah.
very annoying. Like a lot of the fans are just
They're
going
going overboard.
too far.
Yeah, it's like it's like sometimes you feel embarrassed to be
Yeah.
a part of this group. You know?
Yeah.
Which is funny because I feel like when I first started, there was like a certain type of embarrassment because that's when everyone was really getting into it, and there's just like, oh, you're like a K-pop fan.
Yeah.
But now when people say it, it's a whole different type of embarrassment because I'm like, okay, I'm not that type of fan.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you instantly have to explain yourself. Be like,
Yeah,
okay,
because
I'm
they
not crazy.
automatically think that you're like a obsessive, crazy fan if you say that you're a
They
K-pop
either think
fan.
you're
Like,
obsessive or they think you're a Korea boo.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they do.
You're only
They
here
do.
because the men look cute or whatever, or you're
Yeah.
here because you're crazy.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, there are normal us K-pop
Yeah.
fans.
But that's the thing. It's because, especially like I'm not gonna say like, because I don't know what like a lot of these K-pop stars see, but like I feel like in a lot of their eyes and outside the K-pop world, the only thing that they notice is the crazy fans. That's the only thing that people talk about when it comes to K-pop.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
us normal fans, it feels like we're just in this
Yeah.
bubble behind
Mhm.
all the crazy fans.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
We always stuck in the nosebleed seats.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Like
Why are all the
somehow
crazy
all the
fans rich?
sasaengs have front row
That
seats.
too.
And we just
Yeah.
don't
Where they
understand
getting
that.
this money
I
to
know.
support
that?
these guys? This is a Dollar Tree poster. Okay, like I don't like just
I don't
I'm gonna show up to every single concert and be in the front row.
Right.
Wait,
Yeah.
what
What
money?
job do you have? I want that. How do you
That's
afford-
true.
And if you look at what a lot of these things do, it's like, where do you have the time, the energy, the money to be going on airplanes and figuring out where these people are?
It's like obviously you have a job because you gotta pay for all this stuff, but at the same time you can't have a job because you have no life because you're traveling at the same time they're traveling and you're doing research 24 hours and analyzing everything. When do you have time?
It's really
like when I heard that
phone
there's these fans that were like climbing through vents to get to NCT. I was like,
they
who
always
in the world?
target NCT, and I feel so bad for them
Because there's so many to target. They feel like somebody
There
is
is.
slip through the cracks.
Oh man!
If I kidnap one member from NCT, they not gonna
No one's
notice.
gonna
There's 30 of them. They have a better chance. You know, SHINEE, there's only 4. You take somebody from SHINEE, we gonna notice.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because I feel like if the group is bigger, then it's significantly worse. I've started to notice.
but I feel like
SM
SM fans just in general are worse than any others. Like the things I hear from SM, it's like the people in their company are like corrupt or something. I don't know, because they go
it's
to
like they're trying
sasaengs
to
like
get
more
this for
Yeah.
the money, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what you gonna
SM,
do
like,
with all that
SM
money if they actually do kill, like, or kidnap somebody?
Okay, so we're gonna go back into the SHINEE video.
Yeah.
The SM conversation. There's a lot to say about SM. We're gonna talk about it in another episode because SM again. You need to get it together over there.
I mean, we're still on the topic of the video because I mean their video was about
so because we got like a lot to talk about afterwards, so I'm just like trying to keep going.
Anyway, so basically, as we move on to the video, that's when we come to the whole situation of people eating stuff and puking confetti.
Oh
yeah. Okay, explain. Yeah, I was confused.
So basically, they say that is supposed to be representing the fact that even though they want to basically accept everything that their fans tell them, at some point they're just going to have to reject it. But even if they reject it, it's never full rejection type thing. So basically, it's like he ate it, and he like puked, like he rejected it, but it was confetti, so it shows that like you're still under her influence because it's like not actually rejecting it, it's still like contributing to the wild party that she is having for them. So even if the group tries to reject something, they don't have the ability to fully reject it. They still have to remain in like the confines of fans and what they want, especially if they're in a certain production or something like that where the fans have so much control over it. So they could say no to something, but at the end of the day, there's going to be 30 other things that are done to adapt to what the fans want.
Right.
Yeah, so that is when basically it starts going into more detail about like them losing their body parts and everything like that.
Yeah. So why did the other like random girl start regurgitating of confetti?
It's so those are like us fans like us. I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. Let me go back. But that was really cute. So basically it's like the girl is a fan as well, but she's not in agreement with these type of fans.
Oh,
So
look at that representation.
Yeah,
representation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she is also rejecting like what this crazy fan is trying to do, but at the same time, for some strange reason, the bride is always going to have more power over everyone.
That's facts.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's
So
so
it does tie
weird.
in with our conversation. Again, we're like normal
Yeah.
K-pop fans, and we don't agree with a whole bunch of stuff other K-pop fans who are more obsessive and controlling are doing, but at the same time, they are like
get more
the highest.
They
Get more attention because they're crazy. They obviously have more money to contribute to keep the fan, like the group going. So they take control and precedence over normal fans like us.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what's also true, because like for example, like Ollie London, it's like if we say more stuff about him, and no matter how bad it is, he's still getting that attention. Like if you comment on his videos, like you need to stop doing this, he's still getting that attention and that money. So I mean, he can't really do anything.
Yeah, which is, I feel like that idea in the video was just more of a mentality of not just fans in general, but like society at the same time as well. Type thing of they always try and turn attention to the crazy, and that's giving them control because you're giving them the attention that they're supposed, like that they want in order to keep controlling things, whereas the rest of us are like, maybe you should stop doing that, but we don't get listened to because no one wants to see normal people. That's just that's just me.
Yeah.
Paris?
I feel like it's just like that one time when Hyunjin from Stray Kids drew this picture and he sent it on Bubble, and mostly everyone said that they really liked it and it is a nice picture because he drew it himself, but there was a select few who didn't like it or complained about it for somehow, and he took it down, and then he apologized for it, and everyone was so confused because we were like, what happened? It was a nice picture, and everyone was kind of confused. So yeah, it goes to show that the crazy ones who view idols as like
objects,
as objects, you usually get the most attention.
Yeah,
I think they view K-pop idols as Sims characters.
Yeah.
The way the music video showed them was more like their dolls. Like that you could pick them up, you could take them apart and everything like that. You could change them however you want. You're in control. You could do whatever you want to them. They're not people.
Yeah.
That is deep.
That's deep.
Yeah. So then it's one of those, so then as I was saying before, like when they start going into more detail about them like losing body parts and everything like that, she's still collecting them, which is why you see her in like the dark room and she's like cutting up magazines and piecing stuff together. So the way they're explaining that is these type of obsessive fans try to break down the group themselves to create what they want. and that is it.
Mm.
No matter how destructive it is, how just unstable and everything like that, they will continue to do things to break down the group until the group looks exactly like they want it to look like. So again, it's kind of like a doll of like, okay, so she took this one's mouth, she took this one's nose, she took these one's eyes, and she's like piecing together her own perfect idea of what she wants, regardless of how much they're suffering.
Yeah.
Because then it referenced how like she was standing right there, like when Taemin's eyeballs came out, and he was literally like floundering around looking for them, and she just like refused to help.
Right.
Type thing. The only thing she was there for was to take his eyes and then go and do her own thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Man, this whole music video is actually a metaphor on the industry itself. Not just
really
them.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really
this
good.
video now. Like it's
Yeah.
like
SHINEE,
literally
I see
symbolizing
you.
everything I've been thinking about the K-pop industry.
Right. So that's why at like towards the end of the video, you know how like he goes through like the wall and it's just them.
Yeah.
And that's when they really start blaring "We're Married to the Music." So that is basically them breaking through like the fantasy dollhouse and trying to remind fans that the reason we do this is for the music. We are married to the music first.
Ooh, I like
but
that.
at the same time, once you get to the very end of the video, they're all still stuck in her dark dungeon, passed out.
It was like, psych. Oh.
Yeah. Still have control.
Maybe that
and
sucks.
That was
is
beautiful.
SHINEE's Married to the Music video explained.
Wow.
That was amazing.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was
That
good.
made so much
That's
sense.
applause.
Whoever made that article, I will send it to you guys. Maybe we can link it down in the description box or something like that. That was beautiful. Again, I'm so sorry
beautiful.
it took me like 5 years
really good
to find it, because I respect the video so much more. The way I was like, what kind of piece of mess is this, SHINEE?
Right. And I was watching, I was like, oh, I was traumatized. Like I was like, should I be watching
I was
this?
like, what in the world? Right? I feel like I can really appreciate the song too now, because
I
at
hadn't
first
watched it in like so long type thing. And when I tried to like rewatch it for the like video and podcast this week, it literally took me like 3 days to finish it, because I kept pausing and I was like, oh my god, I gotta do something else. This is a mess. By the time you get to Key's like head being chopped off and the eyeballs everywhere, I'm just like, what am I watching? I'm exhausted.
Me too, because I feel like now I could really appreciate like even the music too, because like the whole time I'm just looking at the video just like, what is going on? And then now like that I understand what's going on, now I can just
when you go back and watch it, I feel like now that you have like at least like a kind of mental outline of what they're trying to portray, it's like every single thing you see that's new makes sense in relation to the video now. It's not just madness anymore. It's like, it's almost poetic.
Yeah.
And then like as you're listening to the song too, when them literally just screaming "We're married to the music," it's like they're trying so hard to just try and like get these fans to understand all we want to do is make music. That's the whole reason we started. That's the whole reason we're here. And but at the same time, it's like a losing battle, because at the end of the video, they still got to be up in that room getting remade into a Ken doll for some one lone crazy girl.
Wow. I never thought I would say this, but SHINEE, thank you for the video.
I know we're like, this but yeah, that was really good.
And for the representation of normalized fans, like that was beautiful too.
I think that's nice too, because I feel like a lot of fans, like normal fans, they kind of feel like it's exhausting to see stuff like that, because you can't really do anything about it. Like there's nothing you can really do, because you're not just gonna be on there arguing with people like back and forth. But it's just like And also not only that, but it's like at the end of the day, like it's just music and people take it so seriously. And you're kind of just like, bruh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even like down to how like she was trying to like make them into what she thought they should be. Like like that part like really hits because there are some fans who break down every little thing these idols do and try to control what they do and try to stop them from doing things that every human is entitled to do. Like, and it's just sickening. It's just sickening.
It's
yeah,
so sad.
their basic rights. They're people. They want to have a family. They want to be loved. They want to say what they want to say. They want to have a break. To do something. They want a vacation. They want to just go home and lay in pajamas and not have to be sexy 24/7 and not have to be cool 24/7. Just let them eat.
They want to eat.
Let them eat.
Yes, let
give
them
them
eat.
some supplements. I am tired of all the videos where just somebody is passing out on a stage and they just like try and quiet it away. It's like,
it's so disturbing. Because again, you can't do it. You just sit back on the screen like someone help this man. Someone help this woman. Like, I don't understand. And then when you hear like a lot of the girls, like they don't even have their periods, I was like,
yeah,
that's not
I always
normal.
thought like, what do they do with when they are on their period?
They don't even be getting
they
it.
don't even be having. I'm like, that's
not good.
That's
because they're so stressed too. Like that's
like
that's the reason why. Like dang.
Yeah, but it's one of those things of you're not eating properly. You're probably over exercising all the time. You're under a lot of stress
and you're
24/7. You're underweight and everything like that. I'm sure they don't have time to get regular doctor's visits to actually address some of these issues.
Right.
Because, oh my goodness, because that was one thing I remember. I forgot how, I think it was like in 2019, because I love how Monsta X always has like a concert here in LA whenever they do like an around the world tour. So I saw that they had come, like they started it in like 2018. So 2019, I was like really considering going, but I had somewhere else to be at the same time they were doing it. And when I come back and I start like looking and I was like, oh, like, I wonder how the concert went, like that I missed and everything. It was talking about how, I think it was Kyung had literally like something happened with his ribs. So they just had him sit and sing the whole concert.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, y'all didn't take him to a hospital?
Right.
I was like, who?
But I also, again, and that's what goes back.
Like,
that goes back to the video, because they feel like a lot of the time when that happens, when they break something, they still feel like they have to perform because they feel like they have to do it for their fans. And it's like, bruh, no, go get help. Like, forget about
us. At the
us.
same time, that's us normal fans saying that.
normal
Whereas if they would have canceled the concert, how many people would have been completely outraged? Even though he would have said, oh, he was in the hospital. Like there's still people who have been like, oh, well, like the rest of them could have did something. I was like, well, they don't want to support their member who's in the hospital.
Exactly. Oh man,
I don't get it.
It's so annoying.
People are, I don't know, people thinking, I don't know, when it comes to like heroes, I'm just like,
people feel way too entitled when it comes to famous people.
But there was a 17 when 17 at their online concert, and they did this performance with like these girls. And remember we were watching it, and they were like dancing with the girl, and she kind of like put like her leg over his, and like he kind of like caressed it and stuff. We were like, oh, okay.
I know. I was like,
and then I saw like this tweet where they were like, how dare they do that to a woman?
Sexual
like
harassment.
They have sexual harassment. I'm like, it's a performance. Like,
also, she put her leg there.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not get it. I was really done. And it was funny because that was like around the time where I was like, let me try out Twitter. I immediately deleted Twitter after that. I was like, this is why I'm not on there.
Twitter's toxic.
I
I deleted the app as well. because it was stressing me out way too much. I had too much access to too much within a couple seconds.
Too many
and K-pop was
opinions.
one of them.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Too many people's opinions just are allowed to have free range over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice when like a scandal happens or something happens, everything is taken from Twitter. Like everybody's saying, like whatever, everything that fans say about it is taken from Twitter because everybody got a lot to say on Twitter.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Everyone's a little bit too bold over Twitter.
Too bold.
for sure.
And very entitled.
But it's not even like misfounded because they're gonna find just the right community to support them over there too.
That's the sad part. That's what hurts my feelings for real. Someone will always back up your dumb opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad we're having this conversation right now because it just ties in to
so well to the tea of this week.
Oh,
so just go into it.
All right, y'all. Okay.
Slip and slide because it's the same thing because it's fans like this that's creating problems like this.
No, we're not defending him. We're just saying y'all crazy.
It's just how the way y'all handled it was not okay. Okay.
No,
listen, I'm not gonna talk about
on our regular.
No, we're talking about fans because they were doing the most.
Girl, we've been talking about fans this past like 30 minutes.
I understand that, but in this certain situation, I'm not concerned with the masses. I'm talking about the source of the issue himself.
No, we talking about fans.
I feel like it's one of those things on our regular main podcast. If you haven't listened to it, we do this segment of "Am I in the wrong?" And some of them stories, it's like both of y'all were a mess. Both of y'all. So I feel like that's the situation.
That's exactly the situation.
Y'all act
EMS and y'all mess.
Together, we're creating some toxic scandal.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna talk about Mr. J Park, and not the J Park. Okay, not AOMG Higher Music member. We're talking about the now formerly Day 6
former Day 6
member. Okay, thank you. Former Day 6 member Jay, or he's also known as Ij in his like solo stuff.
Oh yeah, Ij.
Okay. Even by that name, everybody knows exactly what we're about to talk about. Okay.
Right.
All right. So let's just get into it. All right. So Jay recently, as we all know, he recently left Day 6. He, I think on the January 1st, of this year, of course. He personally announced on his Twitter that he's going. It was kind of confusing because he said he's going to take a break from Day 6 activities, and then he thanked the fans, and then and said he'll cherish all the moments he had with them for the past 6 years. And then later that day, JYPE released that he is no longer at all in Day 6 anymore, and that
because he made it sound like he was coming back.
Yeah,
and exactly. They're like he's not.
He said he was. He said that like he left. But he like once the members were done with the military, he was gonna like come back and like do stuff with them.
Well, JYPE.
But you know what? It could have been JYP too. JYP could have just been like, he could have been like, "Hey, can I like do my own stuff?" He was like, "No, you're gonna get kicked out."
Yeah. So
I mean, JYP done had their own fiasco with a couple groups trying to be independent. So who knows?
Yes. Apparently, Jay has had issues with JYP for a while. But yeah, so according to them, he is no longer in Day 6 anymore, and his contract was terminated as of December 31st of 2021. They continued on to say that after exchanging deep conversations for a long time and following careful discussion, they decided to respect his opinions. So according to them, he wanted to leave, and they concluded the contract. And then on the same day, Jay held a Twitch stream and said that, confirmed that his contract is terminated, but he again said that he is temporarily leaving Day 6. I don't know. He told fans not to worry, and to, trust him and the boys. If not him, then trust the boys because he's already talked about it with them and everything. But that trust Didn't last long.
Nope.
It
He took
Okay.
that trust and chucked
Yeah.
it out a window.
All right, let's get
did.
into the tea. So, for those who don't know this controversy, all right, so a couple weeks ago, Jay did a live Twitch stream like he always does because he's been doing a lot of Twitch streaming, like gaming and all that stuff. He's been doing that lately. He, was being his normal goofy self, all that, until someone mentioned a Jay and Jamie collab. And of course, as we all know, they've been friends for a long time. Very good friends for a long
He
time.
bit too comfortable, which
Yeah.
happens.
Yep.
They even used to be Joe IP label mates together. So he thought it was a cool idea, of course, as he mentioned in the stream.
Let
But
me
then he
drop a
threw-
joke with my comfortable friend,
Yeah.
but AKA just throw folks under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he threw everyone off with his next statement. Okay, so Jay, he goes on to say, now that I'm not in K-pop anymore, I can say this. Why is
Which
Jamie?
is when you should have just stopped.
This is when he should have
Why?
shut his mouth.
I know. Ooh. He said, why is Jamie trying to be a thought? That's what he said. And for those who doesn't know what thought means, okay, thought is like an acronym for that HOE over there. That's what that means. Right?
Mm-hmm. Someone who is easy, someone who sets very little boundaries when it comes to men.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Someone she is not.
Exactly. So he says that he starts to laugh at his words and proceeds to tell his fans to go on and tell her what he said. He then goes on to say that she would probably be
I feel like that's when in the story he really thought he was being so funny.
I know. Even I watched
when someone's
so
like, we're
times.
gonna tell her, go tell her, like go let her know. It's like, okay, you really in your space of being a comedian right now, and you just looking real dumb, sir.
Yeah, especially when he said that he didn't know when he said that there was no difference between a baddie and a thought. I was like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, there's a big difference.
A very big difference.
Oh, Lord.
So then do you guys think it was an actual like mistranslation, miscommunication thing?
Okay, so the only reason why I feel like there was a possibility is because I personally have seen like people like, because I have a cousin who is the same age as Jay. There's a lot of words that she don't know. And I'm just
gosh, that poor girl.
How do you not know this? And
when we went through that situation, it was around the time this came out, and I was like,
yeah, it was a couple times. It was some things that we like said, and she like, what's that mean? And she, she's never, leave the country. She's been here all her life. And you know what, I was thinking, I was like, okay, there might be a possibility he didn't know what that meant, because there was people in the comments that I've seen, even on like Soompi or something like that, they were saying like, oh wait, what is that, like what is that, like what does that mean, So it was like, oh, okay, so maybe there was a possibility he didn't know. It's just that he probably shouldn't have. I don't think he should use the word if you don't know what it means. See,
that was
I felt
my
like
thing.
It was the same situation we were talking about last week or the week before, of just there's so many words that they just try to throw into their language that they're not ready for. They don't fully understand it. So when he said that, yes, thank you. Come on, a perfect example. It's just like that's not what that means. Like, that's not what that means. So I feel like when he said it, and then afterwards when he's like, oh, like what's the difference between that and like a baddie? And it's just like, okay, I feel like you just throwing in words that you don't fully mean, sir.
You just hear slang and you're just saying it, and it's just like,
which is the reason why I feel like I'm not so much mad at the word, especially if you didn't know what it was and you didn't know the context. But the fact that before you even said it, you're like, now that I'm not in K-pop, let me say this. It's like, okay, you already know that what you're saying is trying to be controversial. even though you don't know
Yeah.
how controversial it's going to be, you know, you probably shouldn't say it. That's why you
Yeah.
premised it with, I'm free, let me speak my mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And he
Mhm.
also understand, like, even though he left Day6, you're still kind of associated. So what you say could
Affect
kind
him,
of go back to
Mhm.
Day6 and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
too. Yeah.
and it's, again, you're on Twitch with your fans. Your fans will take what you say very seriously. You have a great deal of influence. Please try to be responsible with it and stop trying to be funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
And
this is
and also because like it was very uncalled for and very provoked.
It was so
Because
random.
the
They
photo
asked
he was
It was
talking
very
about
random.
simple
was a
question.
nice photo. The
Yeah.
photo was a very nice photo of her. She looked very nice. And
Yeah.
when he said it, I was like, "Whoa, no, she doesn't. She looks like a baddie." And
Yeah,
that's
and
what
I
some of
didn't
the people
like
said.
I didn't like that he said, because he said somewhere in the live that because he knew that he said that he probably knew that she was gonna be like, you know, mad, but I think he meant like in a jokingly way she was gonna be probably mad at him, and that she'll probably like call him or something. And he was like, yeah, if she calls me, I'm gonna, like, you know, answer and put it on
Oh, I'm
speaker
gonna answer and put
everything.
on
Yeah. And
speakerphone.
then
Oh my
he was
gosh.
like, yeah, and he was like, if she asks me why I called her that, he would like, I would say like, oh, you're posting these type of pictures with these poses that makes me believe that you're perfectly described under that description of what I just said. And I was like, oh,
Which is so interesting, because when he phrased it like that, I feel like that showed a little bit of like the dynamic they have in their friendship. And as soon as that started happening, I was like, why do I have guy friends that are like that?
okay,
Like,
that's what I was thinking, because
it's one of those things of just like, as soon as he did that, it's like, okay, I do have friends that are gonna speak just craziness just to get me kind of irritated because they think it's funny.
you know what?
And they
That's
want
what
to be
I was
joking.
thinking. That's why the fans at first, I mean, a lot of them were like, you know, they just completely was like, no, that's disrespectful, no excuses type thing. But there was like some fans who didn't know how to really react to it, because they know how we've all seen like how him and Jamie, their like friendship is. They're like joke around a lot and like call each other stuff all the time. So a lot of people thought like, oh, I mean, that was like kind of out of pocket, but you know, Jamie might find that funny, you know what I'm saying? Until then it just went completely left when she finally came out and said that that was not okay, and that, you know, like, how you gonna do that to me, like, I've been there for you type thing. And that's when it went like completely left.
Yeah, because it's one of those things of, oh my goodness, I don't even know how to word this properly. I feel like it's one of those things, if he would have done it when they're having like a private conversation,
Yes,
I could
when she was there,
like, with their dynamic, I could see why it would be like, oh, she just like kind of punch him in the arm, be like, no, I'm not, shut up, type thing.
Yeah.
But because you're trying to be funny in front of other people without that said person there, and then the fans have taken it one way, half the fans have taken it this way. Now my fans are looking at me like, hey, he talking about you. It's one of those things of, I can't just like
let
rush it. Like, I can't let it be
Mm-hmm.
water under the bridge now. Like, it's a big situation you've created.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
Because even now, fans are mad at her. They're like kind of mad that she forgave him. They're like, "Oh, come on, Jamie!" Like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because she forgave him.
Because
I don't know.
that's
I
also my
feel
thinking
like-
too. Because I was like, okay, like literally they had like one talk type thing, and she's like, okay, like I forgive him now. Well, kind of like two. And I was like, okay, that seems more like, again, their friendship. And then it's like, okay, if this would have been done again in private, it probably wouldn't have been such a big thing.
Yeah. I
But
think
again,
so too.
now that her fans are looking at her, or his fans, and even though she has forgiven him, it's one of those things of, again, people are like, well, you shouldn't, because he said that. And it's like, well, you're not
it's none of
in
your
control
business
of their
That's what I
relationship.
was trying to say, because I'm
It's
like,
also not
these
their apology
fans-
to accept or not accept.
honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
like, she's
felt
not
like
apologizing to
it
you.
was-
She's not forgiving you. She's talking to her friend.
That's why it was annoying, because a lot of these fans were taking it like way too far. Like they were like completely like bullying Jay. Like in the comments, they started talking about his looks. They're like, he looked musty. He like this, and that.
They
And they're
always
just like, you are the
what's up with
worst
these
person in the
fans?
They always
world.
As
do
soon as
that.
one thing happened, they go below the belt. They
Yeah,
start calling you
Yeah.
ugly. You know the man is
No.
not ugly.
for
I
no
know.
reason.
It was so stupid. I'm like, Jay has always looked like this. He always,
Mhm.
when he's like
Yeah.
comfortable in his like own little room or something like that, like he'll have his like, messed bed hair or something like that and wear like, regular t-shirts
Like I
or
was
something
saying,
like
they
that.
ain't gotta be sexy and made up all the time.
Yeah,
There
but
Yeah.
he
are
always done
times they
this.
just want to be in pajamas.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, he's hideous and he looks musty. He looked like he don't shower. Like, come on now, y'all. Like, come on. It was just like I hate him. I hate him. And then when he did apologize, he apologized to her on Twitter, and then he went on live again and was saying that he messed up and that he actually called Jamie that not that day of that he said that, and she had a conversation with her already, and that she expressed how she didn't appreciate the term that he used towards her, and that they're planning on um meeting up in person to talk about like the situation and meet up and everything, but people was just like still bashing this man. I'm like, why are y'all it's like you can't, you're not gonna like anything you guys are never gonna be satisfied with what he do. Like if he don't
Yeah.
apologize, it's an
Yeah.
issue.
I
When he does
I've
apologize, you don't
I
like it. Like what is
That's
he
the
supposed to
thing.
do?
I've never lived in such a time where saying I'm sorry means absolutely nothing to people.
We were just having
Right.
a
Like
conversation.
it's
Everywhere.
never saying I'm sorry is never going to be enough to suffice for anything that's happening.
Yeah.
No.
It's
So it's literally
so
like he
yeah.
dealt with the situation in private. He was calling her. He's like, hey. So obviously he knew he messed up as soon as like the thing was over, and he called her and was like, hey, I said this. And she's like, nah, we're gonna have to talk about this in person because you shouldn't be saying that. And then he's going on, he's apologizing left and right. He's like, I'm trying to handle the matter. I apologize to her. And they're just like, no.
It was like he low-key did everything that people was saying, because when it first came out that the first Twitch was out, and then everybody saw that, they're like, oh my god, he needs to apologize to Jamie, blah 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 blah. He does that, then it's like if that apology was basic. This is now you need to apologize to her in person, because when he did the apologize to her in the on the Twitter, they're like, wow, he did the old like notes, iPhone notes little apology. Wow, like how basic. And then it comes out, he says, I actually called her on the phone. We're planning to meet up in person. It's still not satisfying, like for anybody. Yeah. Kaya.
Okay, so I find it so funny that like you were saying, like, people are never satisfied with a sorry anymore. Jay has gone out of his way to do, the phone calling and everything. He's gone the whole mile to try to fix his relationship with Jamie. And people still don't want to forgive him. But those same type of people will forgive like YouTubers and bloggers and all those types of people who do like
Exactly.
things that are
Yes.
way beyond what Jay did. And they're just like, and those YouTubers or whatever, they do their apology, and it's like so not
So
an
fake.
apology
But
at
not even
all.
that, but they will not accept his apology, but then listen to all this music that calls
Mhm.
all these women the B word and thoughts and all that stuff.
That's
So
what
like,
I was saying. I'm like, how are y'all that hypocritical? Like y'all are
Yeah.
just
Or
bashing
you're
this
listening to
man.
songs with women who like accept that term and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm one of them. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, she is one of them. Okay, so you just called her that because she called herself that.
Yeah. And
But
then
the term
Yeah.
itself cannot be used in any other context, not even by
exactly.
accident.
And it's just like it's so annoying because and then it's like it's something that I feel like is not worth just throwing away a whole like long friendship for, because everybody was just
No.
like, I would have
And
cut him out completely off.
Yeah.
but
Like
it's not your friendship. I don't know how many
Yes.
times I gotta explain
yeah,
that to them. If those two have worked it out, that is
that's
their
amazing.
friendship to work out.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at some point, when is your opinion not gonna matter in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like,
their opinion never mattered. It's not
yeah,
a matter
they're
of,
just
But
like,
it's one of those things of like, okay, they gave their opinion. Okay, like that's inappropriate. And it's like, okay, yes, I do agree.
Yeah.
That's probably inappropriate.
Yeah.
So then he's like, okay, what can I do? You need to apologize to her. He calls her up. I apologize. Then he has to go back to them. Okay, what's your opinion now that I've apologized? Well, you need to apologize to her in person. Okay, let me take that. Let me meet up with her. I apologized in person. Okay, well, now what do I do? What's your opinion on what should happen now? And then it's like, oh, well, she shouldn't have forgiven you. And it's like, okay, at what point
That's
do we have
literally
to
how
stop
this whole
going
thing
back
went.
and forth for something that is between me and my friend that
Yeah.
doesn't involve you?
Mhm.
and that's what the Married to Music was talking about. They
For-
really
that's what
have to
I'm so
abide by the fans.
Mhm.
like it was really like bothering me. I'm like, why are the fans like going this far about this? Like it was just so, and I feel like some people, some of them just hate just to hate. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like
They really
with
do.
no like actual reasoning behind it. Because actually I know this because I usually I never comment on stuff, but it was just really bothering. I was like, why are these people like doing the most? And so I just like commented something on one of the posts and I was like, okay, listen, y'all. I was like, what he did was
Oh, you
wrong.
stepped into their realm.
I did. I was like, let
Oh
me tell you
Lord, you are
something.
brave.
I know. I was like, let me tell you something. I was like,
Oh, no.
Jay was wrong. We know this. He knows this. But y'all continuing to bash this man ain't helping. I'm like, y'all ain't gonna be satisfied with nothing he do. So if you don't like him, just okay, just don't like him then. Like
Yeah.
you just move on with your lives, right? So one girl,
Yeah,
she
'cause
comments, she's just like, she comments like, no. I was just like,
see, you're talking to
I was like, this is how I know like you guys are just hating just to hate with no reason. Because she just says
Yeah.
no with no reasoning why. You know, she's just like, no. I was just like, okay.
They were just trolling.
Yeah, they just
They were
was like,
bored.
girl, yeah, it was
And
annoying.
see, here's the thing too. People need to realize that it's really none of our business.
Yeah,
Well, I was
What
that's what I was
saying,
saying. That's
between
what I was
them
saying too in the
Yeah.
comment.
goes
I'm
on
like,
between them.
if he apologized to her on the phone, why do y'all need to know about it?
Yes, and if she
Oh.
forgave him, that's her
Yeah.
business. That's between
Because
them.
could you imagine if they had handled this completely private and then like a month later they both would just be like, oh no, we resolved it. Like no one would have been satisfied.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, like how did you resolve it? Like what happened? What did he say? When did you forgive him? It's like, why do you need every single detail?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if they said that it's resolved, then it's resolved.
It's resolved.
Period.
Yeah, and it's just like everybody just like, oh, she better than me. I would have cut him off, or oh, you should have cut him off, Jamie, or
Like,
That's a
she
whole
is better
lie.
than you.
I
She's
feel
better.
like that's a lie because everyone knows that good friends and regular friends talk to each other very differently.
you know, I was
Yeah.
literally saying this not too long ago because I was telling somebody this too, that the the closer you are, the more disrespectful you are.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah.
the more you're like closer with your friend is like the more like bad talk you
Mhm.
speak. And I think he just felt like they had that type of relationship where she would have thought that was a joke.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
Because
feel like
again,
honestly,
if you step back and look at the whole situation without the context of just him doing it in like the presence of fans, it's like, again, I was like, okay, I have a guy friend like that. He's a mess. He's joking around type thing, but he's still like, as soon as I actually get mad, he'll be like, okay, like, no, like I'm actually sorry and everything like that. So I was like, he did something. Yes, he made a mistake, but it's not a uncommon mistake,
Yeah.
especially for a guy to do if he has that type of friendship with a girl.
Mhm.
honestly,
Like
I feel
this
like
isn't the first time it's ever happened in history.
Hello?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No.
It's just the first time that y'all want to take it out of context and control the situation that now it's such a big thing.
Also, like, I feel like if she was there to defend herself or to like actually laugh, the situation would never happen. but because she wasn't there to receive the joke, it kind of just boiled over in a way it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it has something to do with just the time period we're living in.
Yes,
of everyone trying to be so woke and so aware.
Yes.
And so it's one of those things, it's like at some point y'all are just hypersensitive though.
Yeah. They're
how I
really
feel.
oversensitive. I've seen other like posts like like where I got the where I see most of the comments and everything, like because there's like a where I get like news stuff from this like this account called Global Myung on Instagram, and she posted something else today that I was like blown away. They took this one joke and it wasn't they took it way too far, and when I read the
They
context,
took it way out of context.
and she literally explained what happens in the caption part, and I'm like reading it, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right. But then everybody's just like, oh my gosh, she is so disrespectful. He is this, he is that. Like, I can't believe him. And I was like, what? I was so confused. I was like, why is everybody taking it this way? What in the world? I was okay. I don't know. It was just, I was like, okay, people are doing way too much.
They're doing way too
I
much.
think it does have something to do with what you said, Ari, about everybody wants to be woke and
for a lot of time, it's
Yeah.
not even their place to be like
Yes.
that offended. It's like, calm
For
down.
real. That's what I'm saying. Like that's
because in
what
this
really made me
situation
mad.
it's like, okay, she wasn't there to defend herself. So at the very beginning it's like, okay, we're trying to speak up for this woman, like you shouldn't talk down about her, shouldn't be disrespectful. And it's like, okay, like that is appreciated type thing, that is understood. But then it's one of those things of, okay, but now she's not mad enough about the situation. And it's like, well,
how you gonna tell someone how to be mad?
Every person says something to be blatantly disrespectful and rude to someone.
Yeah, they just
not like you
take
have
it
to
that
listen
way.
to the context of it. Yeah, it's like, again, you say one thing and everyone's like, that is something you're not allowed to say. And it's like, well, what were they talking about before it happened? You need context. It was obviously
people
a
also need to
conversation.
know that not everybody knows everything. Like just because he is American, just because he is older, doesn't mean that he knows a whole bunch of stuff. Even as something as simple as that word that, like, yeah, we all know, there are some people, especially who are on the older side, who just generally don't know the slang. And
he's been living in Korea for like over 10 years.
He hasn't even been here.
Yeah.
To know, like, how, again, our language changes so much.
Yeah, there's so many slang. There's literally a new TikTok slang, and I was just like, what?
And again, like I mentioned earlier, my cousin, literally the same age as Jay, she is 30, and she's never lived outside this country, and there's so many words that she don't know, and she is full on American, and it's just like especially older people, they're not going to keep up with all the slang that is going on.
They're too busy.
Yeah. So
living their lives, doing stuff, having meaningful friendships.
Yeah, and we're not saying that to defend him. We're just saying,
we're not saying that. It's just like y'all need
to calm down.
Way too much
in conclusion, it was still an inappropriate thing to say, but at the same time, our opinion is not something that should influence their friendship.
Right.
That's all I gotta say.
Yep. There you go.
And on that note,
that she hit it right on the nose with that one. I mean,
I didn't know I was ending everything. My bad.
Oh, you said in conclusion. Oh yeah,
you did
I was
say
talking about what I was saying because I feel like I've been just ranting a lot.
I think it's a good time to stop.
Yeah, it's been an hour and a half.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that was the tea for today. The J.
Or in conclusion, go touch some grass.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. In conclusion,
go outside.
Get a life or something. Life
Breathe
is great.
some fresh air.
Worry about your own friendships.
Yeah.
There are actual like disasters
Right.
happening in the world. Please try and deal with that instead of just controlling
California just had a
K-pop guys'
tsunami.
life.
He did, yeah.
Like
When?
when was that? What?
When did California have
When did
Have a
California start having
tsunami?
tsunamis?
Yeah,
was
we
last
gotta worry
week.
about them actual stuff
The
instead
volcano
of
and the ocean and
people's
everything.
friendships.
That was
Pay
California?
attention
Yeah,
to-
that yeah.
Yes, it was out here.
Mhm.
Paris, where you been?
It was our coast.
I've been. I honestly, y'all, I haven't left the house in over 2 years. I don't know.
But it was all over
what's
the
been
phone,
on
like it was like everywhere.
Yeah.
But where
Make
did the water
sure-
go? Because it wasn't way over here.
You don't live by the beach.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Never mind.
Paris.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, girl.
My bad.
She's like, oh, I forgot. I'm not even actually in danger.
I'm sorry. My heart goes out to those who were affected though. Sorry about that.
What were you about to say, Ari?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what was I about to say? Oh, make sure. There we go. Make sure that K-pop stays a hobby and does not
Yes. Oh
become
my
your
gosh.
complete life.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I almost
I-
failed.
That's why we keep
the 10th
telling you to
grade.
go outside,
Mm.
to get another hobby, read a book,
Yes.
listen
Oh.
to some other genres of music. Make sure it is a hobby.
I always say you should revolve. I mean, K-pop should revolve around you. You shouldn't revolve around K-pop.
Yes.
Well,
Nice.
I had to learn that
Nicely
the
said.
hard way. I almost failed the 11th grade trying to stream songs for Kingdom.
I told
I
her, I
had
was like, girl,
67 missing
why are
assignments.
you streaming? Like, I get it, support them, but like, you ain't never done anything like that in your whole entire life.
You almost failed the 11th grade.
Yes, I had
Oh, wow.
67 missing
Of some
assignments.
K-pop.
And
That's
instead of
why
actually
we were always
doing
like,
it-
where's
Assignments.
Paris? We want to hang
Paris.
out with Paris. She's like, I have
Yeah,
to do some
I'm
work.
thinking, you know what? That makes me kind of salty because you always said you was busy doing something or like you had homework, and come to find out you over here streaming.
Also, you streamed Kingdom, but you didn't even watch Kingdom.
I streamed the
For real, she didn't.
performances.
She just looked at the performances on YouTube. I'm like, come on now, you didn't even commit fully, and you just wasted your whole time.
You for real
Because-
wasted your whole time.
Yeah. But see, when you try and live this life, it not only harms the artist and the group, it harms yourself.
Your own
And your
Yeah.
family and friends. Because we were like, bro, where's
Yes.
Paris?
She nowhere to be found. She was in her room streaming stuff.
I told you, I was like, Paris, I'm gonna show you Stray Kids, but be careful. And she just
But I'm glad you got your life together. Unlike
Yeah.
some people, some people just don't realize.
Glad
and
you
just
still
keep
gonna
going.
graduate high school, girl.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, fans out there, if you are like Paris here, and
I moved on. I have grown since then.
just if it gets to that point, just
Turn off the
realize it and
phone.
fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fix your life.
There's nothing wrong with a break from K-pop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
my
what it
breaks from
took,
K-pop are
honestly. It
so
took a break.
relaxing. Just
Yeah.
watch something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or
Watch
it's
Criminal
like, even
Minds.
if you're not taking a break, there's a certain decision you can make to not keep up with the news as
Yeah.
the music.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because I feel like that's what really will exhaust you, is trying to
Yeah.
keep up with the news about
Mhm.
everyone and everything that's happening. Whereas in reality, you started this hopefully because you like their music.
Yeah.
So just
Mhm.
wait for their music.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Always
That's the
music.
thing.
We're married to the music, y'all.
Married
Yeah.
to the music.
The artists are married to the music. We should be married to the music too.
Yeah,
We shouldn't be
the-
married to
the
them.
music, because we're not. We're not.
No matter how
married
much
to
we
them.
dream and we read fan fiction, it's not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
They don't know we exist. Okay, they don't know
I
us.
think they really don't.
They
That's
They really
appreciate
don't.
us.
And
They
that
just
is
don't know
okay.
you, sweetie. It's okay.
Exactly.
I'm actually happy they don't, because I'll be like, they don't
No.
understand our craziness.
Brings
No.
me to my question that I want to ask you guys for next week. If you did have to interact with them, but strictly on the professional level of being like an assistant wardrobe person,
It's not gonna happen.
What would you
that
have
job
to
wouldn't
say?
be done.
Not the wardrobe.
I feel like if I was to work into K-pop, it would be like not around them. Like I would want to edit the videos.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know
Okay,
how like
That's
the
why I
next
want to ask
episode,
Is
right?
it like-
because I don't
Am I like a
even
fan
know.
though? Like, am I like a fan though? You know,
Just
Like
like
secret-
you right now get shipped to Korea
Right
and
now?
they're like,
Oh, no.
right now, and they're like, you're Taemin's like assistant wardrobe person. What are you saying to the outfits?
Oh,
Here's
to
the thing, because
outfit?
like I'm not
I
a
have
crazy
him
fan.
looking
I just
way
would
different.
freak. I would just in my mind, I would be like have
I
so
would
much
just really
anxiety.
nervous. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd
I
be
would
really
just be really
nervous.
nervous. I just,
Kamai, are you even
Are you
okay,
okay?
right now?
I know you said Taemin. I was like, wait.
I
ooh.
know.
I dropped a name and everyone got distracted. I'm sorry.
I'm just
Because
thinking
no,
like-
because you have to do Taemin right. If you don't do Taemin
Yeah.
right, you're just
it's
not
just-
working.
It's Taemin, you know. It's just like,
But it
I'm,
all
like-
started because I was watching like a video on Instagram or whatever when he did, I forgot which song it was. But do you remember when he was like completely like in the ropes and like blindfolded and everything?
oh my goodness. Yes.
And literally, it's like the video is like behind the scenes of the girls like trying to tie everything up, and there's like 3 of them. And I was like,
Mm-mm.
what do you say when you literally just tying him in some ropes for a concert?
I don't know. I wouldn't even do
be
this. I was
exhausted. I'm
you
like,
know
look,
what,
Taemin,
I'm gonna
do
give
it
you a whole new
yourself.
look. You know, once I get, confident.
Oh,
in
do you
it.
know the jobs when bruh.
Okay, wait,
I've
hold
seen
on,
this a
hold
lot
on.
in NCT. And it's the jobs when they have to like they're like wearing like a certain outfit where like their body's showing, and like the makeup artist has to literally put like sparkles all over their body or like something all over their body, and they're just rubbing all over their body.
Wow.
I
Hey,
can't.
wardrobe assistant might be an opportunity. Kamaya.
Yes,
I'm not doing that.
Kamaya.
I'd be kicked out.
I don't want to be the party pooper or anything, but are we already like an hour and 30?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I said we'll
Okay,
discuss
yeah.
it next week.
That's why I
Next
was-
week
Oh,
we'll
yes,
talk
okay.
about
Yeah,
that.
we'll discuss it
Save
We'll
next.
talk
Save
about
it.
jobs. And
Jobs in
would we do
K-pop.
them or not? Okay, yes.
Most
Thank
likely
you,
not.
Kaya.
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, that about wraps it up for today's episode. Hope everyone enjoyed it. And we'll see you guys next time.